Hello, John.
Hello, Oliver.
And today we're going to talk about people's gardens.
Yes, gardens. Me kingdom for the garden, somebody said, the poet, I think. And people years ago with gardens and they had sturdy bicycles. They'd be very well to do if they had a 3-speed machine. Usually they were sort of no gears, and if a fella had a 3-speed bicycle and a and a dynamo, he was up in the world. Then gardens then were used mostly the back gardens, not so much the front garden, the back garden for planting vegetables and so on and so forth, because that was encouraged and people did these things. So a garden was used in those times for that. Because they had to economise their wages. Where it didn't matter what occupation they had, even if they had a good pensionable occupation, this is what was the procedure. But time marches on, and the bicycle brigade now is ones that ride bicycles for a kind of a pastime. But otherwise they're motoring around, and the passengers, if they have passengers, then the drivers motor about. And I often used to say to somebody was saying, put on your cap because you're the chauffeur, we're being chauffeured. So, but when you have cars in Dublin, where do you expect to park them? Is there parking? Is there in the states where people live that have a garden in the front and maybe 2 or 3 cars? Where are they going to park those cars, do you think?
Well, I suppose the idea of the government is that they're going to get rid of all cars and we'll all be on bicycles soon.
Or Shanksmere, maybe.
Yes.
Because you might be fit to ride a bicycle. As you march up to 3 age boys, well then public transport, but then you could be living somewhere where public transport is as scarce as hen's teeth. If you see a bus, because you might get a fright, because they don't go in a lot of places. Okay, if you happen to be living in the city, you'll have a bus all around everywhere. And then you've the Lewis. Apparently if you're living near the Lewis, you'll be paying extra money for a house because you're near transport. Do you ever hear the like? But anyways, we're talking about gardens. Let's not stray from the subject. So people then in the front gardens, oftentimes they don't have a, well, even if they have a gate, they often have to remove that and not be parking cars on the road, creating a danger for perhaps people on bicycles. And even electric cars can't be parked. They'd have to be parked somewhere. They can't all be parked on the road because they create a danger in these estates where there's a lot of children and all the rest of it. So all these things have to be considered. But did the Dublin City Council consider these items? I don't think so. So they've what's this they've done? They've sort of asking people to stop putting concrete in their drives. But then where are they going to park the cars? Is the city council providing car parks? But then where could they do it in the housing estates? Are they going to be building houses now and in such a way that there's space for people to park their cars and all the rest of it? But people like to park their cars near where they live for safety. Because if they park somewhere else, they're at risk of cars being stolen, because that's a problem in this country. If it's there's a lot of that going on. So with the result, people are at risk if it's a stolen car that causes an accident, and they have caused accidents, fatal accidents, often going down the wrong way of a dual carriageway and that type of thing, because the people that steal them are not so hot. So it seems a very peculiar, ill-advised thing for the Dublin City Council to start talking, because they didn't buy these houses, and they have no right to interfere with people that need to park cars now. They have cars. If they have a bicycle, it's for pleasure as such. It's not a necessity in the sense of the word. I mean, how can you use a bicycle